I'd like to call this meeting to order. May we have roll call, please, Mr. Karate?
Sure. Mr. Accomando,
Present.
Ms. Borelli,
Present.
Ms. Mainello,
Present.
Mr. Laurentino,
Present.
Ms. Mahoney,
Here.
Mr. Quinn,
Here.
Ms. Robinson,
Here.
Ms. Roloff,
Here.
Ms. Zattarelli.
Sometimes, but tonight I'm here.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Excuse me. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
which is
And one nation,
under God, indivisible,
Right.
with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Did they say anything that you were on?
We could just ask everybody to mute yourself.
I have most muted, but I was just checking that.
Okay.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all members of the Board of Education and to the Bergen Record in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, 1975. At this time, please make sure that your computer audio is on mute. At this point, I'd like to go to the superintendent's report, please.
Good evening, everybody. I was just typing a couple extra notes into our report. Thank you all for coming. I think it needs to be said that we're in a very fortunate position, the district, regarding the opening of schools, and we cannot underestimate the value of the work of the people within the district to get school open. And if you just take a close look at all of the districts in the immediate and surrounding areas, most of those schools do not have a school day where students are present for even part of the time. And I think that the relationship that Mr. Karate and I and the leadership team have worked to build, one with each other and with the Teachers Association and the Paraprofessionals Association.
Tell me what you did yesterday.
Our buildings and grounds and custodians, and the work of our secretaries, and the work of the board and the community members and the PTO presidents. If this relationship and partnership was not intact, we would not be open right now. And I think I don't think we can say it enough. We cannot take for granted the fact that we are open, because I'm watching every day different communities all over the state of New Jersey who did not open schools for their students. And I just think it's worth celebrating. One of our goals for the board for the 1920 school year was to celebrate school successes. And this is definitely a district-wide success. So my thanks to everyone who have participated in that. We have survived 4 days of teacher orientation. We've survived 2 days of new teacher orientation. We've had 2 days of student online orientation, 4 gold and blue days, and now we're up to 5 days of gold and blue rotation and 1 virtual synchronous learning Monday. And we survived it all. And if we can keep everybody healthy, our ultimate goal, we'll be in a great place. So we just need to remain diligent. The students and the teachers, the faculty and staff everywhere has been incredibly diligent when it comes to masking, social distancing, following guidelines for lines, for standing in line, for walking in the hallways, for staircases up and down. I mean, if all of this didn't happen, we would not be where we are. So it's definitely worth celebrating. And I'm really proud of our team and the fact that Saddlebrook came together to make this happen for the community. So I just want to thank everybody for that. But it needs to also be said that the teachers, I think, are really having a tough time with this kind of adjustment. Not that they're not doing an amazing job, they are, but it's a lot. And I think we need to remember that we are asking them to, turn education as they've known it, the beginning of any school year as they've known it on its head, and to teach three different groups of students, a blue group, a gold group, a remote group, and to use technologies that maybe they haven't used in the past, and to do it better than they did it in the spring, and to meet the needs of all of these children. And we are continuing to support them. So today at our leadership team meeting, we had a long conversation about the ways in which we can continue to support our staff, and we are not finished with supporting them. We will continue to do that by providing relevant and necessary professional development for them in the things that they tell us that they need. So I ask the community to please be patient with our teachers. They are learners too. Their hearts are in the right place. They're working incredibly hard. But please remember to be patient. And also remember that during the school day, they're teaching. So if you email them a question during period 2 and get frustrated that you don't hear back from them, they're teaching. So they will respond to your requests in the afternoon, but also keep in mind that in the afternoon, they're teaching. And, it's not like it was, they're teaching different kids at different levels, and they're doing it all virtually. So especially in the afternoon. So please be patient. If you have not already done so, please visit our COVID-19 communication website. So if we have a special website. Sonia Otero, our district data coordinator and technology ed specialist, created a terrific place, kind of like we did for the graduations in the spring. If you go to our website at sbpsnj.org, just go to our website, and on the homepage on the right-hand side, under district shortcuts, the very first item is the COVID-19 communication website. And everything COVID related to the school, my letters, our plan, approval from, or letter from the county that we have met all the requirements, etc. It's all on that website. There's great information from the Department of Labor, from the CDC, etc. So it's a great place to look, and we will be, everything that we send home to parents, we will be posting on that site. Okay, the county office did send us a letter verifying that our reopening plan has met all of the requirements of the NJ DOE checklist. Both the letter from the county and the checklist and the plan can all be found on that page. Regarding lunch, so I just want to make sure everybody knows that all students in the district, that is all students, regardless of free or reduced lunch status, are eligible for free lunch. This is a new program that has been launched by the state. Maybe Mr. Karate could talk about it a little bit more in his report, but they are doing this to incentivize, that's because they know that a lot of students are going home half a day, and they want to make sure that everybody has lunch. So any of our students are eligible to take advantage of free lunch. Okay, it's important to know that all administrators, including I, attended a workshop on September 10th in reference to fire and safety drills and how to conduct those drills during this reopening plan. So there are some changes to what is expected of the districts. However, the fact that drills must occur during the first few weeks of school did not change. And by the end of this week, all students will have participated in a drill. I'd also like to introduce to you our SLEO 3 officers. So we believe that we have everyone in place. At Smith, we have Officer Anthony Scalcione. At Long School, we have Officer Joseph Quattrone, whose mom was actually a teacher in Long School many years ago. At Franklin, we have Officer Altarique Dunson. At the middle school and high school, we will be starting a new officer named Michael Stallone, and Officer Matt Murphy will be at Washington School. We still have Mr. Fontana, who will assist us in school security at the middle and high school, and with residency checks, wherever it is that we need him. So tonight on the agenda, there is a memorandum of agreement with the township for approval. The township will be paying for these officers to to be in our schools. And I have to tell you, I've met all of these gentlemen. They are incredibly, incredibly skilled. They have resumes that are so impressive. These are some very high-ranking former officials in really impressive positions and impressive experience. And I'm just so glad that they all want to come and work with us. I'm very excited about this partnership, even more excited now that I've gotten to meet all of them and talk to them and find out, why they want to come and work with kids. And I think they're going to be a wonderful addition. And I want to thank the town and the police department, the chief and Lieutenant Johnson, for all of their help with finding these incredibly impressive candidates. It has recently come to my attention that Miss Ariana Diaquino will be officially stepping down as president of the association, and Ellen Josephson will be assuming that position. I don't know if that's permanent or acting or interim. I'm not exactly sure. All I can tell you is that we have an incredible teachers association with wonderful professional leadership. Had it not been for these two women in particular, we would not have been able to have navigated the smooth opening of schools that we did. And I just want to thank them and the remainder of their leadership team for helping us, because in other places, and I'm sure you've seen this in other places, in other districts, essentially, the teachers associations shut down schools, and our teachers association showed up to teach. And that's why we are here the way we are, and I believe it comes from good leadership. And I also would like to, although we will be honoring her on another evening, I want to congratulate Donna Frio, who has spent many years teaching music at Smith School, who is retiring at the end of this month. And I wanted to wish her well and thank her for her service and her time here. And she will be formally recognized at another meeting. Rolling drop off. We just wanted to talk a little bit about a couple of things with parents. The principals have asked me to mention to keep in mind that anybody on school property must be wearing a mask. So if you're going to be dropping your students off or walking them to the school without a mask, we ask you to stop before you hit school property and then let the students go, or utilize a rolling drop off. And try not to park in the area. We really do have a problem with parking, and we want to keep the kids safe during drop off and pickup. And guidelines for keeping children home who are sick. This is really important. And I think so far parents have been doing a very good job. We haven't had any students who have been sick or who have been exhibiting any symptoms of COVID. So amen to that. But some of the guidelines for staying home are the things that most of you already know that you would keep children home for: fever, chills, cough, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, muscles and body aches, severe headache, loss of taste or smell, sore red throat, congestion or runny nose that cannot be attributed, let's say, to allergies, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. I mean, these are things that we would normally ask you to keep your children home with, but if they come to school, then we'll be sending them with these symptoms, we'll be sending them home to you. And should anybody in your household potentially come into contact with somebody who is COVID positive, we do ask you to keep all of your children home until you can be certain that you are all COVID free. And I believe that is the end of my report. I thank you very much. And happy birthday, Gina. Day late.
Thank you very much.
Everybody knows Gina, a lovely, wonderful, talented assistant.
And now we will go to the business administrator's report, please, Mr. Crowdy.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Quinn. So as Mrs. Shanley said, the state has a program where they're offering free meals. That's the basic meal, not extra items, free to all students, whether they are free, reduced or paid. So at the beginning, the first few days, I guess was a slow start. We didn't have that much participation, but I guess when the word went out, free meals, that helped. Our participation is up greatly, and I'm just hoping the free and reduced students or, get into the cafeteria and order meals that they're not embarrassed going there. And I'm hoping that really does help, but we did see a big increase. So hopefully that will good and word will spread. And that's through at least December right now. We'll see if it gets extended later than that. Project-wise, we installed finally, I think it's our last 2 rooms, classroom-wise. At Franklin School, there was 2 units that were, hard to get some window units in. So we're able to get some split units at our Franklin School. So I think we're left right now is our gymnasiums, which, we tried budgeting for, but cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, that is on our list, but it's going to be hard to do that. Like I say, I've been saying thank you to all the support staff, the custodian, maintenance, the food service, or central office staff for getting the schools ready. We had a great opening. Like Ms. Shanley said, we're one of the few districts around that we're actually open again the students in. And in fact, I got over to Long School. I didn't want to really get over this way, but there was an issue at one of the HVACs on the first day. And I got there for the flag salute. It was nice seeing the kindergarten students and Misty Aquino's room doing the flag salute, learn the flag salute. And then later I saw, I think later in the week was Thursday or Friday where they were remote. And I give the teachers a lot of credit for doing this. It's not easy. I mean, it's not easy doing these Zoom meetings, but to have kindergarten students or first, second grade, the younger ones, it's hard. So my hat's off to them, and I wish everybody a good year and hope we can keep this going. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Crotty. Before we continue on, I would just like to thank Danielle Shanley and Ray Crotty for their leadership and all the work they have done, along with all of our administrators, our teachers, facilities, PTA officers, and undertaking the incredible amount of work that it took in order to open our schools on time and safely. Just thank all of you, and it is greatly appreciated. I know our students and teachers appreciate it, and I think that everyone in the town is happy to have their children back in school as opposed to home all of the time. On that note, may I please have a motion to open the meeting to the public for agenda items and policy only?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, again, the button is, if you click on the center button, it should allow you to get to the participants where you can raise your hand if you would like to speak. Mr. Crotty will be looking for that, and I will read the wonderful statement. Residents are requested to state their name, addresses, and subject matter. In the event it appears the public comment portion of the meeting may exceed 45 minutes, the presiding officer may limit each statement made by a participant to 5 minutes duration. Issues raised by members of the public may or may not be responded to by the board. All comments will be considered and a response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the right of other individuals when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding student employees of the board are discouraged and will not be responded to by the board. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded by the laws of New Jersey. The board bears no responsibility, nor will it be liable for any comments made by members of the public. Members of the public should consider their comments in light of the legal rights of those affected or identified in their comments and be aware that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Do we have any hands up, Mr. Crotty?
I don't see any.
None? Give it 10 more seconds. Anybody? Seeing none, may we have a motion to close the meeting to the public for comments on agenda?
Motion. Second.
Thank you. Any, all in favor? Okay. Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. We'll now go to board action items. It is B93 and B94. May I have a motion to approve the following minutes?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any questions or discussion regarding either of these two items at this time? Seeing none, may we have roll call, please, Mr. Crotty?
Sure, Mr.
Yes.
Accomando. Ms.
Yes.
Borelli. Ms. Iannello.
I'm gonna say yes to all, but I'm gonna abstain from two meetings in B93. I was not there. That would be the special meeting on June 1st and both meetings on June 2nd.
Okay.
Yes to everything else.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Laurentino? So you're muted.
So as it goes, I probably wasn't at some of those meetings either because of that, but I can't open them on my computer. I don't have access to see which ones I should abstain from. So in the interest of those, I'll abstain from them all.
You want B93, all of them? What about B94?
Yeah, okay, I'll abstain from B93 and yes for B94.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff? Ms. Otterelli?
Yes.
Yes. Moving on to education and curriculum. At the recommendation of the superintendent, I'd like to make a motion to approve the following items, E92 and E93. May we have a second?
Second.
Is there any questions, discussion concerning these items? Seeing none, may we have roll call, please, Mr. Crotty?
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Iannello?
Yes.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Otterelli?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. We'll now go to finance, budget, and facilities. Ms. Roloff, please.
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. F338 through F345. Any questions? Good.
Do we have a second? Thank you, Angela. Are there any questions or discussion on these items? Seeing none, may we have roll call, please, Mr. Crotty?
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Iannello?
Yes to all, but I'm gonna abstain from two checks in F338. I'm going to abstain from check number 4182 and check number 4294.
Okay. Mr. Laurentino?
Yes to all.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Otterelli?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. We'll now go to policy. Ms. Iannello, please.
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. For the first reading of the Restart and Recovery Plan, full-time instruction, it's policy number 1648.03. Any questions?
Second.
Thank you. No questions, discussions? May we have roll call, please, Mr. Crotty?
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Iannello?
Yes.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Otterelli?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. We'll now move to negotiations. Ms. Mahoney, please.
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items: N12 and N13. It's the sidebar agreement and between the Saddlebrook Education Association and the board, and the memorandum of agreement for the administrators.
Do we have
Motion.
a second?
Second. Second.
Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, may we have roll call, please, Mr. Crotty?
Mr. Raccomando,
Yes.
Ms. Bradley,
Yes.
Ms. Ianello,
I'm going to say yes to N12, and I'm going to abstain from N13.
Mr. Laurentino,
I'm going to abstain from both.
Ms. Mahoney,
Yes.
Ms. Robinson,
Yes.
Ms. Roloff,
Yes.
Ms. Otterelli,
Yes.
Mr. Quinn.
Yes. Moving on to personnel, Mr. Accomando.
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. P799, I believe it's to P817, but let me make sure. Yes, P817.
Do we have a
Second.
second? Thank you. Any questions or discussion on any of these items?
Through the chair, if I may.
Yes.
Ms. Shanley, we discussed adding additional language for the stipends today. Will that be done just before I vote?
That will be done in the letters. Would you rather have it here on the actual agenda? We were going to put it in the letters.
Okay, as long as it's going to be somewhere.
It will be in the contracts, the board approval letters that the employees receive.
Okay.
So you should probably, do you want to share that before people vote? Share what we discussed?
It's up to you. I
Okay.
have no problem with it.
So some of these stipends, are pending whether or not these activities actually happen. So for example, I'll just pick an example, the spring musical. So the stipend position, of course, we want to approve it, but at this moment in time, we don't know that we're going to have a spring musical. So some stipends will be, pending successful completion of the activities. And then some stipends we pulled for now, and only for now, because we don't know what's going to happen. For example, like ski club, we don't know if ski club is going to happen. So we pulled it right now. And should we get to the point where we can run ski club, then we can approve it at a later meeting. So just so that the public knows what we're talking about. And so that language will go in the letters that the employees receive regarding their approved stipend.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments regarding this section? Seeing none, we have roll call.
1 second.
Waiting 1 second.
You're on mute.
I could vote yes to all because the 6th grade overnight is not on this, correct? It's crossed out?
It's crossed out. Yep.
Okay, very good. Just check.
2020, which has just been a great year. At this time, I'd like to open the floor to nominations and accept any nominations for president.
Muting would be great while we're accepting nominations. Okay.
Any other questions or concerns? Okay, so at this time, please, may we have roll call, Mr. Crowdy?
Mr. Raccomando,
Yes.
Ms. Bradley,
Yes.
Ms. Ianello,
I'm going to say yes to all, but I'm going to abstain from P810.
Mr. Laurentino,
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney,
Yes.
Ms. Robinson,
Yes.
Ms. Roloff,
Yes.
Ms. Otterelli,
Yes.
Mr. Quinn.
Yes. We'll now go to committee reports. Does any of the chairpersons have reports from their respective committees?
I do. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I don't. I'm not on that. Next one.
Okay, Seeing none at this time. Liaison reports. Ms. Iannella, I believe you may have one.
I do. Okay. So I'm giving a report for the middle school, high school PTO. Okay. So they wanted to let everyone know that they were part of the orientation, the 7th grade orientation with Mr. Maish, and they were very pleased to be included in it, and they said it went very well. 2, they were very happy to put the sign, and I hope that everyone saw, and I don't know if it's still there or not, where it said "Welcome back" in the front lawn in the front of the high school entrance to welcome everyone back to school. Okay, and they also were very generous, and they provided all of the staff members and the board office with survival kits for this coming up year. So they were very happy to do that. They are continuing their fundraiser with We Print Marketing. It's up and running, and there's a link on a PTO page if you would like to purchase some spirit wear and so that they can raise some money. They are also very excited that we are back in school and to continue working with the administration team. They are very thankful for all of the work that was done over the summer, and they're looking forward to working with them and having a great year. The last thing I want to mention is the PTO dues. It's $20 per family, okay? So the dues can be paid by either PayPal, cash, or check, okay? And I believe My School Bucks, is that up, Mr. Karate? Do you know? Would you know that?
I believe I have to check with them. I know they're working with them on it, so I haven't heard that it's not working.
Okay. At the time when we spoke, she said wasn't sure if it was up and running just as of yet. And I just want to encourage all of the family to please participate and join. They are very generous at the end of the year, providing a scholarship to our seniors. So you do have to be a member with the organization for every year for the 4 years, but they do a lot of great stuff. So please participate, and you can look onto their page to see when the meetings are. And as of right now, they're virtual, but you can see their schedule. So, and that's about it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you, middle school, high school PTO. It sounds like you're off to a very busy and excellent start. Does anybody else have any liaison reports at this time? Okay, seeing none, do we have any correspondence? Old business?
I have something.
Thank you.
Hi. Old business, new business, it really has to do with the reopening plan and how well Saddlebrook took care of the needs of our students, our teachers, our staff, our administrators. I was speaking to a colleague today, and she said, I don't know if administrators know the amount of work that goes into doing this virtually and how much time it takes and how much energy. And when I come to a board meeting and the superintendent is appreciating the teachers and the administrators and the staff for all their work, because she said to me, someone should just say thank you. Because not everybody says thank you to our teachers and our staff and understand the amount of time and energy that goes into doing this. And I gotta be honest, when Mrs. Shanley said we have a meeting to ways to support our teachers, I'm gonna tell you that most districts have nobody talking about how to support the teachers. The teachers are winging it and they're upset. And I have a friend of mine who's a teacher, she called me crying today. She goes, I can't do this. I said, who's helping you? No one, no support, no leadership. So I'm going to tell you that we are superstars, and Mrs. Shanley is a superstar, and we as a district and the teachers and the staff, all the staff, custodians, and everybody, administrators, central office, everybody's working together to help our students and our staff and to make sure kids get an education. The other thing is, and then concerned about our safety or the safety of our staff. It's not like this everywhere. That's why a lot of districts had to close, and that's why a lot of teachers are out of their minds because of this. So I am so happy and grateful to you, Mrs. Shanley, and everybody involved, everyone who was on the committee, the 40 people, everybody, for the time and energy to put into this, because I'm going to tell you, appreciating our teachers, our related service people, our staff, administrators. I know every student had a hand schedule. I know that doesn't happen everywhere. I know this. So I'm really grateful for the leadership we have in this district, and that we have someone who has a vision and for our district and wants to move things forward and really cares about our teachers and our staff. I think that is the most important thing, and I had to say it. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
Yes,
Thank you very much, Ms. Robinson. Is there any other old business?
Yeah, I do, Steve. That's very tough to follow. I guess it's old now. Right, I changed my vote under personnel P810. I have to abstain on that one.
Okay.
And then ditto everything Angela said. Thank you for the job everybody does.
Okay.
Any new business? Okay, may I have a motion to open the meeting to public for general comment?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Residents are requested to state their names, addresses, and subject matter. In the event it appears the public portion of the meeting may exceed 45 minutes, the presiding officer may limit each statement made by a participant to 5 minutes duration. Issues raised by members of the public may or may not be responded to by the board. All comments will be considered and a response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding students and employees of the board are discouraged and will not be responded to by the board. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded by the laws of New Jersey. The board bears no responsibility, nor will it be liable for any comments made by members of the public. Members of the public should consider their comments in light of the legal rights of those affected or identified in their comments and be aware that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Mr. Crotty, do we have anybody with a hand up that would like to speak?
Yes, we do. The first one will be Tom Van Winkle.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Thomas Van Winkle, 128 Lincoln Avenue, Saddlebrook. I just wanted to start out by congratulating mentioning some of our recent retirees. That's okay. I mean, there's a couple. Want to congratulate Mrs. Donna Frio. She was my music teacher many times from kindergarten all the way up through 6th grade. I was also in the elementary school chorus under her direction. And she was a wonderful music teacher. Always put on wonderful concerts every year at the high school. Also, I have one thing I cherish, a memory I cherish, is always going to Paramus Park Mall every year to sing Christmas carols in front of Sears, back when Sears was in business.
It's like back when there was a Sears. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was so I just want to say she was a wonderful teacher, and I wish her well in her retirement. Also, I see Pat Pellegrini as well. I want to congratulate her as well. I always knew her as Miss Pat. She was actually a paraprofessional when I was in pre-K and kindergarten. Not trying to make anybody feel old, but I want to congratulate her. She was always wonderful as well. I had her when I was in Washington School and Franklin School. I used to go back and forth back then. I just want to congratulate her, wish her well as well in all her future endeavors. The other thing I want to speak about, we have the Saddlebrook Mayor's Youth Group in town, which is open to all Saddlebrook youth in grades 4 through 12. It's a wonderful organization. They help out a lot of community events. We haven't been in operation in quite some time due to COVID-19, but they do so much for the town events and a lot of other things going on in the community. And we have a lot of wonderful kids in every grade in Saddlebrook, which is such a wonderful community. So I just wanted to say that we have registration opening for everybody in grades 4 through 12. You don't have to be a student in the Saddlebrook school systems. As long as you're residing in Saddlebrook, you are welcome to join. We have the registration forms online on all our social media. If you search Saddlebrook Mayor's Youth Group on Facebook, you can certainly find it. We also have kind of like a website which is sbmyg.weebly, W-E-E-B as in boy, L-Y.com. We have all the registration forms up. We are going to have our first meeting on Saturday, September the 26th at 10 a.m. at the Senior Center at 8 Caldwell Avenue. We will be requiring everybody in attendance to wear masks, and we're going to have all the seating set up to be 6 feet apart. So we hope you can join us for that. Also, on Halloween, right on Halloween, October 31st, which is Saturday this year, the town is going to hold their trunk or treat, and the youth group will be helping out at that. I know we've had many people from the district participate in that in the past as well with tables. If you recall, last year we had the trunk or treat inside the high school gym. This year it will be outside at 55 Mayhill Street, which was the old Home Depot when I was a kid. And the town recently purchased that property to make it their new town hall and rec center. So we are going to be holding trunk or treat in that parking lot, and I would imagine everybody will be required to wear masks. We should be able to accommodate social distancing as that lot is huge. So we'll be helping out with that. Just wanted to share that with everybody. It'll be from 12 to 2 p.m. on Halloween. And if it rains, hopefully it won't, it'll be the next day, Sunday, November the 1st, 12 to 2, same place, same time. But we hope you can join us for the youth group and trunk or treat. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you very much, Tom. Very informative.
Tom, you know what's happening here. So you're organizing, working to organize a youth group and talking about 2 stores that no longer exist. So I think it means you're officially getting old. I think you crossed over to our side, Tom.
Yeah.
Back when Sears used to be a store, remember?
Yeah, no, Sue Leonard.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any other people wish to speak at this point, Mr. Crotty?
I do not see any other hands at this moment.
Oh, we have a hand.
Oh, let's move over here.
Can
Mrs.
you announce
Milnicki.
the hand, please?
Mrs. Milnicki.
Hi, Sarah Milnicki. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. 102 Claremont. I was just wondering, with the PTOs, if we'd be able to like use the parking lot, if we did some activities, maybe people could just come pick stuff up, where it'd be socially distanced. We were talking about doing like a craft night, but maybe we'd have like a table on, like for Franklin, like we could be on Lanza and it could just be a drive-by, hand them the bag and they keep going. If something like that would be allowed, not in the building, you know.
Yeah, Ray, would you want her to just put in a request?
Yeah, I'll work there. We discussed some of the stuff Monday night, so I could follow up with you.
Okay, that sounds good. Thanks so much.
Super. Thank you.
Thanks.
Do we have anyone else?
Don't see anybody else.
Okay, seeing none, may I have a motion to close the meeting to the public comments?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Excuse me. Now I'd like a motion to recess to close executive session, discuss personnel matters per NJSA 1046, the Open Public Meetings Act. The subject matter discussed may be disclosed to the public if and when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Action will not be taken when the board reconvenes in open session. Do you have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
We're not going to be coming back. We're going to adjourn this meeting.
Okay, but I have a question. Are we getting another room to sign into, or are we staying in this room?
We don't have many people on. We could stay here.
Stay
Ask
here.
everybody to leave and all.
Okay.
Okay.
Stay, bud.
And while it's on the table, may we motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And all in favor for the closed session?
I say no. Does that mean we don't go?
Any, only if 5 say no. Any opposed? Okay, thank you all for coming to the meeting. We're now going into closed session.